everyone. Hi, I'm Sinclair with Mystical Heart Collective. I'm a psychedelic integration coach, a retreat facilitator, and all around spiritual seeker, plant medicine lover, and guide to help people heal with psychedelics. And the way that I do that is through education, information, preparation, navigation, and integration, all of the shins that you need to really learn about how to heal with psychedelics. I am a teacher that has had a lot of experience with these plants, and so I use my own experience to help other people find the healer in themselves. And today we are going to talk about my favorite grandmother, ayahuasca. Ayahuasca is a really special medicine to me and to the world. It's a beautiful, magical healing plant, and I wanted to start this series. So I write a blog post every week on my blog at mysticalheartcollective.com/blog if you want to check them out. The blogs that I write are often kind of in themes, and I've been writing a lot about preparation and how to prepare yourself for the medicine experience and how to really understand how to get ready to heal with psychedelics. And this week started my first in a series of posts about different medicines and different psychedelics that I work with with my clients and that I love. And the first one I chose was ayahuasca because that was the first one that really I used in a capacity as a healer for myself. So, you know, there's a lot on the internet about psychedelic medicines, and I am not going to ever be the person to provide you with the academic or scientific or kind of more, I don't want to say sterile necessarily, but I work with the spiritual side of these medicines because I believe that's where the healing happens. And for me to kind of be the person that you're coming to for, okay, well, what does this medicine do? Look for that in elsewhere. I do share some of that stuff, but my main concern is like I said, the mental side, the emotional side, the physical side, all of the ways that we need to get ourselves ready, and not only for the ceremony itself, but to move through that experience, throughout the experience to the integration piece, which can come days, weeks, months, years after you've actually sat with these medicines. So mainly what I'm saying is that I'm not an academic, I'm not a scientist, and I don't pretend or try to be. I don't want to be. I'm a spiritually connected person, and these medicines helped heal my spirit. And so that's the perspective that I have, and that's what I share. And with ayahuasca, I came to this medicine in early sobriety from alcohol. I had been fighting an addiction to alcohol for over probably 15 years. And for about 8 years, I was having some good success with periods of sobriety, and even had 3 years sober at one point. And felt a lot better. I knew that alcohol was not good for me and was not serving me, but I didn't understand how to get it out of my life completely. And the last time that I decided, like, okay, this is enough with this. I can't cope like this anymore. I can't use this anymore. Ayahuasca became a very strong contender in the arsenal of tools that I wanted to use to really heal the underlying cause of why I was coping and why I was addicted. And I wasn't just addicted to alcohol. That was probably the worst thing. But my life was a series of addictions and distractions and things that kept me separated from myself and isolated from myself. And so going to ayahuasca, I was looking for healing, for what is it that's causing me to cope in this way? Like, why am I at a place where this is how I'm living? And I knew really, like, deep down, I knew what a lot of the answers were. But coming to that medicine, I was able to really connect to the root of what was causing that. And for me, it was my father was an alcoholic and ended up committing a really violent crime and going to prison, and he died there in 2012. And so coping with like the loss of my father and my anger with him and all of this was something that the medicines really helped me to work through and to uncover. And ayahuasca in particular was a revelation because, you know, like most people, I spent a lot of time like watching YouTube videos, reading everything I could find about it, reading trip reports, and putting other people's experience into an expectation for myself. And I was really afraid of it. I was really afraid of that medicine because I don't like feeling sick. Like, who likes feeling sick, right? So that part, like the physical, you know, being afraid of the experience was a big thing that came up a lot for me. The I think there's like these expectations that you get around all of these medicines. As a person who's coming into it having never done it before, you're going to have expectations. You're going to imagine like, okay, this is what it's going to be like for me. And the number one thing that I learned is that there is no experience that you're going to have that someone else can prepare you for, because it's your experience. Every journey with the medicine is different every single time. The mechanism is the same. Like, so as you get to know ayahuasca, you're like, oh, okay, you know what the medicine feels like when it's coming. You understand what it feels like when you take different amounts. And you may find, okay, at this amount, this was too much for me, or at this lower amount, I feel like I got more of the healing. That's how it is for me, is like when I first started sitting with ayahuasca, the amount that I took was a lot more than what I would take now, just because I understand the medicine a lot better now, and I have a relationship with it, and I know how to meet the medicine rather than needing the medicine to come and kind of overwhelm me. So that's just sort of something that you learn as you work with it. The main thing that I learned about ayahuasca and San Pedro and the mushrooms, all of these plants are spirits. They have an energy, and the ayahuasca is the divine feminine energy. So she's the grandmother, the mother, your sister, yourself. The divine feminine aspect of consciousness is the way that ayahuasca heals. So she represents the earth and like the jungle. She comes from the jungle, and so her energy is like, you know, that jungle mama energy, and that is a much different feeling than you're going to get from say mushrooms or LSD or San Pedro, which are all, each one of these compounds in these medicines has its own energetic spirit and its own profile. And so ayahuasca is a very stern, strong, very powerful tool to take us into a dimension where we are not connected to all of our stories. She takes us out of the mind and puts us deep in the heart and in the body, and sometimes out of ourselves completely. She is sometimes very stern and even aggressive, and a lot of us really need that. A lot of us need to be shaken out of ourselves and like overwhelmed, and that's kind of what she's known for, is to come in and like, she's a purgative, so she comes in and she cleans house, and not only with your body, but with your, you know, with your mind, with your thoughts, with your heart. And my way of purging is, so often I cry a lot because I'm always getting these really deep realizations of how I've been not necessarily standing in my own way, but sort of like behaving in a way that I don't like, or not even that. It's like she shows you your highest good, and it's like an alignment, right? So you feel connected to this higher self, and then when you're out of alignment with that higher self, it doesn't feel good anymore. It's like, that's why I don't drink anymore. That's why I'm not able to use things to cope in that way anymore because it's not in alignment with who I am. And I couldn't hear myself for such a long time because of the alcohol and all the things that I put in my body to like stuff down all of those feelings. And ayahuasca really helped open me up, and it like created all this space so that I'm like, oh, what a relief. Like, I don't have addiction anymore. I don't have a lot of the toxic coping mechanisms that I used to have. I don't have a lot of the just like stuff that was like clogging up my heart and my mind. And like ayahuasca has helped me learn how to trust myself. And I've written on our blog too about how my personal stuff was like attached to some body image issues, some self-love. Self-love is a really big one with ayahuasca, with everyone. Almost everyone that I've worked with this medicine in particular, has some kind of self-worth issue that they're working on, like either from childhood or like they're, coming out of a relationship that they didn't feel worthy. And it's like people come to these medicines with like, okay, I want to be better. I want to heal this. I want to get rid of this. I have depression. I have anxiety. And so many of these come from a root cause of like not having self-love or self-care and not taking care of ourselves. And ayahuasca is really good at going in and kind of getting, okay, you think you're a bad parent, you think you're a bad partner, you think you're a bad person. Boom, way down there is you are not loving yourself because you think you're not worthy. Like, where is that coming from? And helping you not only like become aware of that. Ayahuasca brings awareness, and then it brings connection. It brings connection to the all. And sometimes the way she does that is by disconnecting you from the all, is like making you feel complete isolation or complete aloneness. And that feeling is like, it makes you so grateful for what you have and the life that you have and the body that you have. And so sometimes in those really hard experiences that we have where we feel separated, we feel pain, we're struggling, those are the really juicy ones that actually give us a lot of healing. Because sometimes, sometimes we have to learn the hard. Raise your hand if you have to learn the hard way. I quit alcohol for 3 years and then was like, nope, not done. Gonna have to go do that again. And that's how long it took for me to get it together. Like, I laugh at it now because I know that I have to learn some things the hard way, and that's okay. That's important, and it's a part of being human. And so the thing really that I want to share about ayahuasca is there's nothing to be afraid of with this medicine. You are stronger than you think, for one thing, and the only thing that you're facing is yourself. And whether you feel it at this moment or not, and whether you feel it before you start this process of healing with psychedelics or not, you are worthy. You are a being of light. You are a divine creature. You are a divine expression of consciousness. And so there is no separation from you and everything that is. And everything that is perfect. And becoming aware of that connection and feeling it is a really magical thing that you can get by working with ayahuasca. The last thing I want to say just about ayahuasca in particular is and I'm going to talk a little bit more about this in the coming weeks around finding a retreat and, finding ways to work with this medicine. Ayahuasca is not the most sustainable medicine that's out there. There are people who are taking care of these plants and who are doing it in a sustainable and healthy way. And then there's a lot of people who are, going into the deep, deep jungle and not taking the plants in a good way. And so it's important when you're looking to find a place to do this medicine, to experience the medicine, that you take care to make sure that they're being good stewards of our grandmother, and that they're, the people that are, it's a very big responsibility and a big honor to carry that medicine. And find someone that really resonates with you. People are asking me a lot lately about how to, how do I go to a retreat? How do I do this? And my answer is, things are a little different than they were a year ago with retreats. You know, there are a lot of retreats in Ecuador and Peru that are generally open year round, but right now, because of coronavirus, it's not as easy for a lot of people to go and like jump into a retreat. And, you know, with this year, it's not as accessible to people. So if you want to work with ayahuasca, hold tight. I would say start your preparation, start your exploration of yourself, prepare your container, and help get yourself ready. And these things are going to start opening up more. We're going to have some at Mystical Heart Collective. We are planning, hopefully starting in 2021, we are going to be facilitating retreats at least 4 times a year. So we have a lot of exciting stuff coming up where you can work with us directly and some of our trusted colleagues who we are good friends with and know very well. And we hope to have some really exciting news on that front soon. So if you have any questions, it doesn't look like anyone is here at the moment. I didn't get any questions this week, but feel free to email me questions, or you can email me at hello@mysticalheartcollective.com. I also want to talk about the Ultimate Guide to Healing with Psychedelics is a 22-page book that I put together. It's a free guide. You can sign up for it on our email list. On our website is mysticalheartcollective.com. And if you go there, it'll just pop up. You can join the mailing list, and we send out our newsletter and these videos every week, so you can stay connected to us. You can join our Facebook group. It's on our Facebook page. We're at Mystical Heart Collective on Instagram, and that's it. See you next week. Enjoy your Friday.